Alright, I'm making this video to show you another set of new additions, updates and even bugs introduced in the next gen edition of The Witcher 3.
I'm gonna kill you, Hattori.
We'll start with a piece of content which I've heard about before, but I've never actually seen until they updated the game. Apparently there used to be a mod which restored it in the old gen, however it is now part of the base game. It's a small follow-up of Hattori's quest in Novigrad that takes place in Skellige. Sometime later, here on An Skellig, you can run into Sucrus, his brother-in-law, and the rival sword merchant they took from Novigrad. And they intend on starting a business again.
And it didn't surprise you the land was so cheap? It's at the world's end!
Watch what you say, Rodder. You're talking about my fatherland, Tweersech.
And you truly believe this is the best site for a shop trading in imported wines and liquors?
I wanted a forge. Shut it, Van Horn. How were I to know they only drink their fucking mead?
They're from fucking Skellige, for fuck's sake! Flavour means fuck all to them. All they want is to get fucked up.
What the hell was I thinking making another deal with this skag?
On Skellig, for fuck's sake.
It's all your fault! Piss off!
Also, I finally have an excuse to show you something which I mentioned not too long ago in another video. Now I might be mistaken, but other than the brief dialogue with Philippa about Saskia...
I know you used her, but couldn't escape the impression that you actually cared for her in some way.
Really?
The quest with Hattori contains the only unique dialogue choice in the game related to choosing Yorvet's path in The Witcher 2. If you did choose it, you will be able to persuade this dwarf here to let you in without bribes or axi, because of your previous adventures in Vergen.
My favourite type of magic, lesbomancy.
A bit of a shame there isn't more, but it is something.
Yarpen Zigran sends his regards.
By Rune Durin, just don't nick everything. And hurry, get it done while I'm in the privy.
What I'm looking for is none of your business. Ought to just let me through.
Way's all clear.
Gotta get inside.
To liberate what?
A few crates of crafting supplies.
Of what lied tell Cleaver?
That I knew the password.
Excellent work in Vergen, Master Witcher. And the passwords? The lion sleeps tonight.
Okay, next we have another case of CDPR fixing unintended exploits, and this time, unlike Ciri's transformation, they seem to have succeeded. You remember the bees in White Orchard? Well, it seems they disappear from the hive soon after you knock it down from the tree, which renders the hive completely harmless, and it no longer murders everyone who approaches it. In case you did not know, you could previously kill Tomira, among other people, by arding a beehive next to her, making it possible to loot her entire inventory and get a huge monetary boost at the start of the game. If you want to know more, you can check this video, but now we are moving on to a change related to stamina regeneration. You likely know that you no longer need stamina to run out of combat. So the natural question is, what does that mean for the werewolf decoction, and more importantly, for the great balls of granite? First off, the decoction has been reworked to increase stamina regeneration during combat rather significantly only on clear moonlit nights, which I assume simply means clear nights, and I like this change. It's obviously situational, but also rather thematic, considering it's a werewolf decoction. And as for the balls of granite, previously if you were to stroke them...
Can't believe I'm actually doing this.
You would get a buff that basically did the same thing as the werewolf decoction used to, and now it's been changed in a similar way. It provides stamina regeneration in combat, which is not quite as strong as the decoction, but it works at all times, regardless of the weather or time of day. Okay, next I have something you guys have been telling me to show in a video, specifically the new Roach card. It can be played separately, but also summoned by playing the Geralt or Ciri cards. I think these are the only two that can summon it. You get the card instantly as a reward for playing the standalone Gwent game. I'm not exactly sure if there are any rules in terms of how much or what exactly you need to do in the game, but I personally haven't launched it in a very long time, so I assume you only have to have it downloaded and maybe have, launched it a single time to get the card. Oh, and you might have to hit the My Rewards button after you first update The Witcher 3. Okay, another change I noticed while making the video about the Netflix armor is that guards are now far weaker than they were before.
It's bloody jock!
They no longer appear as skull-level enemies who pretty much one-shot you, and you can oftentimes just casually kill them after you anger them. I gave it a try at Crow's Perch, and I killed a whole bunch of them until they stopped coming at me. And apparently in the end I was out of trouble. A minute or so later they all respawned and just went about their business. I'm not sure how I feel about this change, honestly. On one hand, they were made unrealistically strong from a story perspective, but their true purpose was to be more of a penalty in gameplay, which they no longer are, or at least nowhere near to the extent that they were before. So let me know what you think of this. And we move on to a bug related to the new armor sets, specifically the White Tiger and Dol Blathanna, and more specifically the swords that go with them. If we were to place these new swords on a stand in Corvo Bianco, their scabbards would appear awkwardly floating on top of them. This does not happen with the new swords from the Netflix show, only the Tiger and Dol Blathanna ones. Other non-sword weapons might appear a little weird as well, but nothing stands out quite as much. And finally, I have tested 4 other things based on requests from you guys, and here they are. Since there was a significant change to Hattori's Mastercrafted sword, some of you were wondering, rightfully so, if the Mastercrafted armor was shown similar love. And the answer seems to be no.
Does this look to you like armor that stops bolts?
It does not scale with your level, nor does it provide anything terribly interesting. And it still looks like a witch hunter's armor, which paints the armor crafter in a rather unflattering light, suggesting that she doesn't know the difference between a witch hunter and a witcher.
Word of your kind's reached these parts.
My kind, meaning?
Well, the witch-burning kind.
I'm a witcher, not a witch hunter.
What? Not one and the same?
No.
You also wanted to know if the Unseen Elder's armor scale with your level, and the answer once again seems to be no.
Guess I thought once we were finally reunited things would be calm.
Now, since they doubled Gaunter Odim's reward, as well as the money you get from selling Ciri, some of you were wondering if Dijkstra gives you twice as much, or at least something more, for the Battle of Kaer Morhen, assuming you found his gold.
Listen, here's what we'll do. I'll give you a fat purse, a bit on top, and we'll call it even. Agreed?
Agreed. Thanks.
And again, the answer is no. His reward hasn't changed, it is still 1,000 crowns. Finally, the somewhat controversial line of Ciri claiming that she drank black blood when fighting the vampire is still in the game.
My greater worry was its strength. I was far outclassed there. But a dose of black blood did the trick. We fought a while, I feigned a mistimed dodge and let it drink. The rest was easy.
And I might actually do a whole video, or a larger segment of another video, about that eventually. I've spent some time looking into that scene, including in some other languages, and I do have a theory about it. I don't want to get too deep into it here, but suffice it to say, I do think that it's an oversight on the developer's part, and not some sort of last-minute revelation that Ciri can take Witcher potions because of her elder blood or something. And also, no, that was actually made before Netflix decided that elder blood is what makes Witchers, so we're not going into that. Alright, for now, I believe we're done. Thank you very much for watching, thank you for your support, and until the next video, stay tuned and be good.